So today we're going to be recharging our Canyon filter in our 1998 Silverado OBS truck. I haven't done this in about at least good 7 years or plus, so stay tuned, keep watching, make sure to hit a subscribe and a thumbs up. Let's get this Canyon air filter charged. On the 96 to 98 Silverado, you have one latch here, and you have another latch on the back side like that, and then this just a little tab. So what you want to do is open it, release it, open it. Let's look at the filter. You can obviously tell it's really bad condition, so this is not helping our performance of our truck and our 5.7 liter GM motor. I shot the video right after we did the engine detail, so there's some water sitting there. It's not gonna suck it up because it does have air holes here, so that'll probably prevent it. But you sure don't want the water in your air box before running it. So what we're gonna do is vacuum this out, clean this out completely, and start on our K&N filter. Well, here's the K&N filter. As you guys can see, this thing is super filthy. There is spiders, there is, I don't know what else is in here, but you could tell it hasn't been cleaned for a very long time. Like I mentioned, probably the last time I cleaned this had to at least be 7 years ago. I don't drive the vehicle much. I'll probably say, if anything, maybe 100 miles a year, if that. I'd probably say a lot less. But let's go ahead and really get down and cleaning this. This is going to need a lot of K&N air cleaner solvent or air filter solvent. So we're also going to clean out our air box. We're going to take it off, clean it up, make sure it's all nice and fresh in there as well, so we can get some solid air into our air intake and into our throttle body and into our motor, right? So the better we clean out everything, the better the truck performs. That took our air box out. You guys can see it's also filthy in there. We're going to go ahead and wash this out, clean it up, and put it back in. Now that we let it sit, now we're going to rinse it off with some just running water. As you can see, all the gunk is kind of coming off the filter. All you have to do is literally, don't do high pressure, at least what they recommend. You want to make sure we get into the crevices. And see if we can push anything out that's sitting in there as well, because there was some bugs. Let's let it sit and dry. Well, I'm going to run it one more time and let it sit and dry, and then once we get it dry, we'll get back to putting the oil on it. So the filter is completely dry. I did notice that some of the particles on the filter are starting to rip out past beyond this little metal piece. So you can, I don't know if you can see it, but there's like little, I guess you can see it if it's black, then it's missing. So I think it's almost time. I think it's time to replace this. But for now, we are gonna put some red oil on it, and then once obviously we get the new one, then we'll or maybe this has a lifetime warranty and we could get this replaced. But you can see it, some of the filter part kind of giving out already, especially this part right here. So it's dry. We're gonna put some oil on it and then let it sit overnight. and let it soak. You don't want to put too much because then you don't want your mass air sensor to get clogged up or get any have any issues with that. But you almost want to do a light coat, just like so. I also found that the spray oil is a lot easier than the squeeze, so this is a lot better, easier to apply. So now we're just gonna let it sit overnight and then install it and start up the truck. Filter is dry. It's the next day. As you can see, it still looks black, but it still performs well. Like I mentioned, you kind of see that the paper in the back is kind of going. So I think it's time to replace this. But for the now being, we're gonna go ahead and drop this in. And I think those fell out when I was cleaning it. And even though I was running soft water to it, that's what fell. So I think we're good though. Hopefully we don't get this stuff into the engine. But also I cleaned out the air boxes. You guys can see I did use the engine dressing, so it looks a lot better. Looks brand new. Here's the cover. So let's go ahead and drop this filter in for now, and then we're gonna replace this with an OEM one or another one like these. I don't really go into dirt much, so I'm not worried about the performance, and because it's not exposed, I always put the cover on. I think we'll be fine. So even with an OEM one, again, I think I'll be all right. Again, this is just a 5.7 Vortec liter. It's not an LS. Not looking to get too much performance out of it, but if we could get one of these, great. If not, we'll drop in a filter, OEM filter style one. So let's put this on. You want to make sure that this tube falls into place perfectly to grab onto the cover grabs onto it perfectly. So looks like we're good. That's it. Thank you for watching how to clean out your Canon air filter on your 5.7 liter Vortec engine Chevy. In this case, my 98 Silverado OBS truck. Simple fix. Make sure you just clean it depending on how often and the road conditions and the weather conditions and how you drive your vehicle. You want to clean it out every so often, but just check it, make sure it's good. I would probably say at least every 6 months, depending on the road, again, the way you drive and where you drive. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and a subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Man, look at that engine. And even better, we know that the air filter is clean. Next, fluids change.